personal view, the input doesn't seem to make much difference. It's practice that students need. You can agree with that or disagree with that as you wish, but that's simply a personal view, that the students learn the grammar by using it, by doing it. They need input, but they don't need as much input as they typically get. They need much less than many teachers give. Second thought about grammar, it's the intonation that makes the grammar come alive. A lot of teachers, I've seen classes where the teachers teach grammar and they allow the students, or even encourage the students, to talk on a flat level. So the teacher maybe is teaching, I don't know, going to, and the student says, I am going to the shop tomorrow. And it's so boring, and I think, well, the students must be bored, and the teacher must be bored, and it sounds so dull. Why not teach grammar with a little bit of intonation, a little bit of emotion? And you've transformed the same sort of sentence into something that is memorable and interesting. So, for example, using going to, he's going to marry Jane. Why not put the intonation in? He's going to marry Jane! Now that's a memorable sentence. Who's he going to marry? You can actually get students then in pairs saying these sentences to each other with surprise and amazement. And that's something that they'll take away and they'll remember 3 weeks later because of the intonation. It's still the grammar is as simple, but the intonation is what gives it some oomph, what gives it something that's memorable. Little bit of intonation. Doesn't have to be surprise. It can be anger, shock, any emotion you want to. But a little bit of emotion can make the language. And students need lots of exposure to language before you present language. This is something I really believe, and this is a very strong argument for doing skills work in class. Give your students lots of exposure to listening texts and reading texts, including texts that seem to be slightly above their current level. Don't be frightened of texts that include vocabulary or grammatical items that seem to be things you haven't studied yet. That's fine. And when you teach them, give the students tasks. Give them tasks that focus them on understanding the meaning, and don't worry about the other things. If a student says, "Teacher, what do you mean used to? I don't understand." If you want to, you can give a very quick explanation. You can say, "Oh, it means something that happened in the past, but not now." And stop. Don't give a long presentation. Just pass by it quickly, or even ignore it. Say, "Don't worry, we'll be studying that in a few weeks' time." Is that shocking? I'm interested in the reaction there. I don't know if that's shocking or not. In some places that's a shocking thing to do. Some teachers feel that they have to give information about every single vocabulary and grammatical item in a text. Otherwise the students will be angry and the parents will be angry. But think about it. Think about how a child learns their language. Think about how a child picks up the language. They understand very, very little, and they start to pick out meanings within a text. And they don't ask questions about all the other things. And slowly their understanding grows, and they understand more, but they don't understand everything. And I think there's a huge value in exposing students to lots of things that they don't completely understand. It's important that they can get the main meanings. It's important that they can do things with the text they have. But they don't need to understand every word. In fact, it's very important to train them to deal with texts where they don't understand every word. Because that's what happens in real life. They'll go and visit another country where English is spoken, and they won't understand everything. And they need to have the skills to be able to extract the bits that are important for them, even if they don't understand every word. Drilling is really useful. Do people drill here? Do you drill? By drilling, I mean, the teacher says something, says a model, and the students repeat it. That's the basic drill. You can do more exciting variations, but I'm a great believer in drilling. It's old-fashioned, but I think it's tremendously useful. Modern methodology, it's sort of become out of favour. Nowadays, the students do a lot of tasks, communication activities, but there's very often a stage missing. Students need the chance to get their tongue around structures. They need a chance to repeat safely without the need to be creative and communicative at the same time. So I think there's still a space for drilling in language teaching. And encourage them to make sure you give honest feedback. Don't just say, yes, that's fantastic, well done, all the time. Tell them where they make their mistakes. Students need to know what's wrong. 4 things I'm not terribly happy with in the modern world of ELT, English language teaching. We're still grammar obsessed, still input obsessed. Most course books, most teachers seem to still see grammar as the most important thing. It's not universal by any means, and I can't know what happens here. But around the world, there's still a large percentage to focus on grammar. I don't know how much you've been influenced by the Common European Framework. Does that ring any bells, that name? It's been a very powerful influence in Europe. Level descriptions, syllabus setting, student portfolios, teacher portfolios, a lot of very, very influential thinking from the Common European Framework. I'm just nervous about it because I distrust anything that becomes very big and monolithic and seems to squash other ways of thinking. So I won't say any more if it's not a big influence here, but just a worry if it starts to creep over to South America. In general, I'm worried about the bureaucratization of education. More and more we have to fit in with tick boxes. More and more people are measuring us in quantitative ways. They're coming into classes and ticking, did we do this, did we do that, did we do this? We're submitting lesson plans and course plans, and people are checking what we do. I'm very worried that the bureaucracy is killing the education. And we have this product view, I'm not quite sure what that was for. Was it the statement on the board? Yeah. That did ring a bell, didn't it? Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'd love to ask you about the good 600 people. I'm not sure I can, so I'll just go on. I'm sorry. What I call the commodity view of learning, this idea that learning is a product that can be sold and that people expect particular things out of it. I think education, as I've said, is messier than that. Okay, here's